welcome to my channel and welcome to day, I think, 21 of this uploading something every day challenge. And today's video is all about misconceptions about that people have about facial differences, and me getting a chance to talk my shit and debunk them, because those misconceptions are very common. I've dealt with many instances where people think things that are not true and put assumptions onto me that are not true, and that has an impact on us. So I'd like to bestow my vast knowledge upon thee watching. So that's what I'm gonna do. The first bit of misconception that I see is that you can catch this. You cannot catch the golden heart syndrome. The golden heart syndrome is not a rampant disease that is out to get you. It is a genetic mutation, so it is not something that will, randomly deform your bones at any time of your life. You are either born with it or you are not. And it will be very apparent if you are born with it versus if you are not. So don't be concerned. Because the amount of times that I go out into public, especially when I was younger, a lot of this stuff is based on when I was younger and I had a more obviously different face than I do now, even though it is still different to the point that I get a fuck ton of comments. I don't know whether or not it's not noticeable enough to the point where the black pillers just think I'm chopped without there being a medical thing there, or if it's that they're picking up on the medical thing and then just running with that and just being total dicks to and what, I don't know. Anyways, but you will not believe the amount of times that my parents and I were wandering around the city trying to do our own thing, and people see, and parents will shoo their kids away and try to hide them from me because they're scared that they're gonna catch my face. Really, really odd shoes for me to be in, if I'm being real, because I'm just trying to exist, and the constant isolation and the fear that people treat facially different people with is so isolating. Imagine you're walking up to people and just even trying to take an order at a coffee shop, and the parents sitting at the table 5 feet away from you. Their toddler runs up to try to say hi or stare at your face because they're curious. I mean, I understand getting stares, but the parent is like, oh, no, don't go over there. It's what, am I gonna eat your kid? No, I'm trying to order my coffee and live like a normal person. Yeah, we're normal people. Okay. You're gonna see a lot of emotion pop up because this is an emotion-fueled subject for me. Yes. And then one of the other common things I see as a misconception is that people immediately assume that if you have a facial difference, you also have a mental disability. And this is no hate to people who have mental disabilities at all, because you guys are also living your lives too. This is more so the immediate correlation that we are unable to manage ourselves, and they talk to us like we're babies. And also, if you're talking to someone who has a mental disability, you don't talk to them like they're babies either. Okay, that's not nice to do that to people at all, no matter what their situation is. But it's so infuriating when people start talking to you and they start using their baby voice and talking really slowly And they're like, oh, did your mommy help you braid your hair? When I was like 12 years old and I had braided hair, because I braided my hair. It wasn't any fancy braids either. I just fucking braided my hair with 3 strands. And people wanted to come up to me and be like, oh, your hair is so cute. Did your mommy do that for you? Like, no, I did. What the fuck are you talking? Go away, please. Or I also had this, like, I went to a college course for chemistry when I was in high school. It was part of this, like, program called Running Start that we have in my state, where high school students can take college level classes and earn college and high school credit at the same time. And so I did that as one of the things I did while homeschooling. And I was trying to figure out, like, what prerequisites I needed to meet in terms of math and English in order to be able to get into this class, because this class had prerequisites. And it was like the student orientation that you also earned like 1 credit for or something. So I went with a whole gaggle of other people who were 3 years older than me, because I did this when I was 15. And then I went and tried to talk with the person running that, like, event. And I told them my situation. I took the prerequisite test 1 time, and placed like 1 level right below the level that I would need in order to gain access to be able to do the class. And so I was just asking, hey, so would it work if I just took the test again and then I got higher score? Because this is the first time I've taken the test in about maybe like 2 years, in like the formal way that you do in like schools where you don't have access to phones, no outside computers, someone's fucking watching you, all that. It's not like I was cheating a whole lot at home, but it's a very different environment, and I had not been formally tested like that in a while. So a lot of my stuff was just nerves, and I didn't even know what kind of stuff they were going to be tested on, so I didn't really brush up on a whole lot beforehand. So anyways, my first test was not my best, so I knew I could do better, because I know myself. I am strong in math when I know what I'm doing. So, wow, that sounds like the most convoluted thing ever. I'm strong in this when I know what I'm doing. Yeah, no shit. Anyways, I have a general good sense of math, okay? So I knew that I could test higher. That is my point. And so I was trying to ask this one person if I could just test higher and get into the class, because that makes sense. And she just kept talking to me like, oh, sweetie, I don't know if that's the right move. You know, like, I don't know. I would talk with your guidance counselor about that. And would not answer the question for the life of me. I'm sure other people have dealt with this too. Like, I know for a fact that it's not just people with facial differences that deal with this stuff. But I asked her a few times, like, I understood. I don't give a shit about your opinion. Is it possible? And she wouldn't answer the question. She just kept playing, like, not that word, not footsie. Oh God, ew. What is it? God, why was that the word? Hello. Floppy pancake. I don't fucking know. You know what I'm trying to say. She was being wishy-washy, okay? And just not giving me a straight answer at all. Until I, like, kept answering, or kept asking. And then I just went home and looked at it myself. I didn't even stay to finish it, because I was like, bitch, fuck you. I can do what I want to. I'm smart. So I went home and did it myself. But, I am pretty sure it was because of my face, and this is the problem, okay? There are other factors that also play into this. Like, it could have been my age, it could have been this, it could have been that, but you deal with so much more of it when you have a different face that it gets hard to distinguish which is happening because of why. And at the end of the day, it's not important why it was happening, it just annoys me that it was happening in general. And I know that my face is a causing factor in some of these experiences. Also, okay, this is a side tangent again, but the common misconception that, like, autism is such a bad thing. Why do people still assume, like, they have to treat you with, like, baby gloves if you're autistic? It's really not that big of a deal. Ugh. That's a whole nother thing in itself. I could talk about that at a later date. But that's another source. Like, people will start talking and treating you like you're a baby if you're autistic. And it's, dude, my brain works. It just processes things a little differently. It's not that big of a deal. Please stop. A lot of the things that happen make me cringe with that so hard. It's pretty much to the point that I don't even tell people I'm autistic anymore. And I'm trying to just, like, work on my social skills without fucking telling people up front, because a lot of times that just makes it way weirder than it has to be. Yeah. Anyways, okay, next thing. Away from the side tangent. The next misconception I see is that, like, we're bad people or something. That, or, okay, no. That we're victims all the time. This is a little bit of a more tricky one to discuss, because there are people with facial differences that have, like, they're burned victims, like they were burned in a fire, right? But a lot of times the same kind of infantilization happens that I was talking about, where people will automatically assume you have a mental disability, or a mental disability, and they will, like, put you on a pedestal and, like, pet your ego in such an icky way. It's like, ew, get away from me. Like, that is my honest reaction to when this happens. I think it comes maybe from a little bit of curiosity or something. And people are like, oh, you poor thing, you have had to deal with this your whole life. Oh, how strong you must be. I could never deal with this. And I know this affects more than just people with facial differences. This is a broader misconception that affects all types of disability. Especially, like, visible disabilities. People will automatically, like, treat you like you're the strongest person on the earth. And, for having to put up with such a terrible, terrible thing. And the reason I, like, kind of immediately mock it is because y'all don't really quite understand what it's like to get that from people on a day-to-day basis. And again, I used to get this a lot more when I was younger, or had a much more visible difference. And now that I don't as much, I don't have the same experience to the same degree. But many, many people when I was younger would comment stuff like, oh, you're so strong. And all the time, for, like, literally just posting a video doing something that everyone else ever in the world would do without any, like, comments like that. And I get that people are trying to be supportive, but let me tell you, it is not helpful. It is so frustrating, because the people only end up interacting with my face and not me as a person. They're too caught up in what they think, like, it must be like dealing with my face, that they don't actually listen to me telling you that this is my normal. Like, I have never experienced what your life is like, having a regular face without having to go to the doctor, without having to do that. And yes, sometimes those experiences are not the most pleasant in the world, but this is my normal, okay? I'm not like weathering it out like some soldier on the battlefield. It's just a part of life. And it's not like some, oh, woe is me, terrible thing to have to deal with all the time. It's just life. Like, so to treat people like they're the strongest things ever is your own idea that it must be oh so terrible to have what we have. And that kind of sucks to have that, like, preconception of yours be put onto us when our life is not like that at all. Like, I have a lot of good experiences. I'm a normal ass person. I just have to deal with the little extra stuff on the side. Okay, maybe a lot more extra stuff on the side. But can you catch my drift? Can you? Because that's my hope. I'm trying to convey this in a way that's like being understanding of where people are coming from when they say that stuff, but getting you to see the point here, because I feel like a lot of times as soon as someone who's like disabled says this kind of thing, they're like, oh, I guess you don't want any support then. Ugh. They get like all offended and stuff. It's not about you either. You're like talking about us and we're responding to you like a conversation. So yeah, it's not like you don't have to do anything special or weird. You just treat us like normal and everyone will get along. Kumbaya. Yeah. Those are the three main misconceptions that I wanted to clear up. And I hope that I was able to spread some joy, maybe, through like my sharing, and spread some education onto with my vast pool of knowledge from my own experiences. I'm like, I'm so smart. No, I'm not. I'm joking. But yeah, that is it. And I hope you guys enjoy and have a great rest of your day. Okay, bye.